My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Shadows over Loathing, where we have a very, very easily accountable for to-do list. That is to say, we have the book that we've just taken, we need to take it back to the antique store and uncurse it, that'll take us to the next day, but also we have Don T asking us to go see Greasy Steve at Fish and Chips. We have the Fishman eggs back to Rufus in his lab beneath SIT. So both of those are here in SIT. The unusually smart lab rat wants more cheese. I don't know if I have any access to it at the moment. We'll check that out while we're going to see Rufus. Glordo wants to get the 5 cotton candies. We can get that special syrup from that already as well. There's also a quest that I need to do for the King Hobo, which is to try and convince Ovid to sell. So let's go get started with some of them. How about that? Oh, do I remember the name that I was trying to look up in the SIT faculty? Not particularly. Let me look up Adams, though. Ambrose Adams, founder and chair of chemicals from 1704 to 1723. Dissipated in 1723 under mysterious statue-related circumstances. The relationship between that and the statue was that when he wasn't, there was, instead, a statue. Let's check out Fish and Chips and talk to Greasy Steve. Ooh. We now have the opportunity to finally schmooze some math. Hey, how's it going? Great to see you all. You're looking real fine tonight. Woo, check out the denominator on that fraction. You've got a... Here, let me get that for you. You pluck all the addition symbols out of the math and stroll away with a cheerful wave. The math just watches you leave, completely nonplussed. Nice and smooth. Alright, Greasy Steve. Time for us to talk. A man in a really slick suit, described as such because it is both expensive and covered in grease, is stuffing his face. This has gotta be Greasy Steve. Hi! You're Greasy Steve.
I like how you didn't phrase that as a question. You're a cool customer, kid. I get what Donny Thesaurus sees in you. Put it there!
He wipes his hand on his lapel and offers you a handshake. You take it with a grimace, and your hand immediately slides out of his grip.
Now here's the deal. We got some, what you might call dirty meat, see? And we gotta get it laundered, see?
Meat laundering? I don't know anything about that.
It's easy. Only trick is you gotta find a way into SIT's laundry room to do it.
I've already done this! SIT's laundry room? Is that like an actual laundry?
Yeah, on account of how it's a steam laundry, and the steam laundry is gonna be powerful enough to clean this completely, particularly dirty meat.
He tosses you a sack under the table and you take a look inside. You got an item, a bag of dirty meat. A bag of ill-gotten gains.
Ugh! Yeah, I can see that you mean what I see. I can see that you see what I mean. Anyway, get cleaned up and bring it back to me and you get your payment.
He pats a briefcase sitting next to the chair. Gross. Well, alright. I'm gonna quickly attempt to get run over by a car, fail at doing so, and make our way down to Rufus's lab, which I believe is going to be near the entrance I'm going to require here. We pick up a little fustulant grolch on our way, also have a conversation with Rufus. I've got the eggs!
Oh, hello again.
I've got the eggs.
Oh, great. Let me just process these and... Oh, whoops, I misplaced a decimal. I only needed 0.3 pounds eggs. Well, now we got plenty of the scoop. You can keep the extra eggs.
Hooray.
And you'll also need this.
You got an item, the Municipal Contraption. A quest item. This odd-shaped tool has City of Porkham stamped on it, leading you to wonder why Rufus had it. Take it to the river bridge.
And now we just slather you in the foul-smelling jelly and come back and see me if you need it reapplied.
You got an effect. Rufus's fish goo. -1 to muscle, mysticality, and moxie. You've been covered in some of the goo that Rufus assures you is necessary. And then Rufus' special rag. Also a quest item. You suspect that this isn't any ordinary rag, is an ordinary rag, but you don't want to hurt Rufus's feelings by just asking that. Cleans up the goo Rufus has covered you with. Double hooray! Oh, wow, these books are all way too advanced for me.
Actually, there's one in there that's right up your alley. Third shelf, third from the left.
You have the order of your bookshelf memorized?
I didn't have to memorize it. I understand the principles by which I arrange things, and I never deviate from them.
Gotcha. Good plan. You look on the third shelf, and sure enough, the third book is eerily relevant to your interests. You got an item harmonic frequency reference, 90 Hz to 180 Hz. A handy reference manual if you find yourself needing to know the exact frequencies at which a narrow range of substances will vibrate. Grants a combat skill, Tricky Timpani calls an enemy to deal its moxie in sleaze damage to itself. Interesting. Thanks, Rufus. I'm gonna read that. You look up muscles in the book and learn what frequency to play the drums at to really ruin somebody's day at the gym. You got a skill, Tricky Timpani. Nobody knows exactly how a timpani works. It's a mystery to both physics and the orchestra science. There's more than one kind of muscle though. You could look up the others, if you have the time. If you do, Tricky Timpani will also increase your moxie by 3. Absolutely. You learn that in addition to harming the savage pectoral muscle, music can also soothe it. Tricky Timpani has been upgraded. You get so relaxed because of your newfound knowledge that you carelessly misplace the book. Damn. I always knew I could never get too relaxed. I'm gonna try and read the Librum. You open the book. The symbols on the first page writhe and change. No clue. Absolutely no clue what that means. Maybe at some point in the future. This book is dangerous, and you shouldn't read it. I'm gonna quickly discard the vials of things such as hair dissolver that I needn't. You can't open the letter because you don't have a letter opener. I know it's frustrating, but you have to admit the logic behind it is sound. I need a letter opener so I can finally open all of this junk mail. I have a feeling that there might be some non-junk in that mail. We've got the royal summons for Ovid. Let's go and check that out in a bit. I don't have the extra moxie for that just at the moment. Is there anything new that I can interact with in this area since last time? No. Not other than the stuff we already have. Door has accommodation lock on it. Of course we can't do that. Here's secret side tunnel passage, spiderwing maintenance access, secret steam tunnel room. No. I could have sworn it was along here somewhere. Barbecue wing, maintenance access, laundry room, there we go, of course. It's a steam-powered washing machine. I launder the mob's meat. You don't want to look at all that gross, filthy meat again, so you just throw the whole thing into the machine and start the wash cycle. You wait. The machine continues to launder the meat. You continue waiting. You continue waiting, and watch the meat spin around for a while, but it makes you too dizzy. You continue waiting. You don't know how much longer you can take this. I continue waiting. You continue waiting. It's like watching grass grow, but there's no breeze. You continue waiting. You are beginning to run short of patience. You continue waiting. You don't know how much longer you can take this. You continue waiting. You watch the meat spin for a while, but it makes you too dizzy. You continue waiting. It's extremely boring. You continue waiting. It is very boring. You continue waiting. You watch the meat spin around for a while, but it makes you too dizzy. You continue waiting. It is extremely boring. You continue waiting. It is extremely boring. You continue waiting. It is very, very boring. You continue waiting. It is very boring. I skip to the end of waiting. You take advantage of the fact that time can pass at an arbitrary rate during one of these dialogues and skip to the end of the whole laundry process. You got an item, the bag of laundered meat. This bag is as clean as a bag a whistle came in. As far as you know, the meat inside is equally clean. Alright, mob. You ready for some clean meats? Greasy Steve will be greasy no longer. I prevent the fishmen from spawning here. Very, very Arkham kind of mechanic right there. You glance around to make sure nobody is watching, and slide the sack of fresh laundered meat across the table. Greasy Steve opens the stack and glances inside.
Nice job, kid. Here's your payment.
He picks up the briefcase, empties the sack into it, and slides the briefcase across to you. You got an item, briefcase full of meat. Seriously? He shrugs and goes back to stuffing his face. I leave him to it. Don, you want to tell me anything about that, buddy, after I get back from Ovid's shop?
One moment, if you please. As we are near the administration's building, it might behoove me to look in and check my mail.
Oh, sure. I'll wait here. Dr. Adams leaves and returns a short time later, dragging a massive canvas sack. Wow, how much of that is junk mail?
Fortuitously, the mailroom clerks were kind enough to discard the junk mail on my behalf. This sack is all from potions of the Monte Club.
Ooh, neat. Professor Adams' nasty flask now deals 3 additional poison damage. This guy gets very powerful very quickly, as it turns out. Hey there, pal. Can I interest you in some quality merchandise? What kind of merchandise? I don't know, just some stuff I found. Have a look, see if any catches your eye. See what he's selling. I mean, actually, before I see what he's selling, let me open up that briefcase full of meat. There we go. Get 500 meat. All right, buddy. I talk to him. Hobo King, requesting your presence, but let me ask first if you have anything that I can purchase that I have not purchased prior. Mob pistol. Mobsters carry these big old-style revolvers because they think they're more intimidating than the objectively deadlier modern variety. I would get it more as a tribute to Sam of Sam and Max, but that's me. Jocelyn baseball cap. Very important. If I buy it for 136, I can go get it photographed for 30. You gotta spend money to lose money. Disposable razor blade, I already have one of those. A delicious oyster seems like it could be useful again in the future, so I'm also gonna take both of your anarchists' hardware if you're, if you're selling. Let's take the mob pistol also. Maybe it's important at some point in proving a crime. What's up with all these beds? University was getting rid of them and finding keepers, I say. Sleepers, I say. The Hobo King requests your presence. Count again? There's a Hobo King just outside Ocean City, and the guy in charge heard you're rich in beds. He asked me to give you this official summons. Oh hey, that sounds like a good deal. Can't use more than 1 or 2 of these myself. Anyway, I'll head there, thanks. You gain 15 experience. Hell yeah, buddy. I think I should reload this area by moving to an adjacent one, which I guess the bridge is actually relevant as well. I do need to go there. And then back to see if, him clearing out of the area has revealed something. You wander into an empty classroom and find a blackboard covered in complex physics equations. I make them more interesting with my 7 Moxie. Using your boundless charisma and the fact that your finger is on the pulse of the modern youth, you rewrite the material to be edgier and more exhilarating. Those kids are gonna learn this. Those kids are gonna learn so much their sunglasses will fly off. Revealing another set of sunglasses, you gain 8 experience. Wait, I've never. Excuse me? Ah, right. This is how we're accessing. This all makes sense now. I was wondering what exactly we were going to be doing here with anything, considering the only interaction I could remember was dumping things into the river. It's the opener for this maintenance department. Underneath the river bridge, it's a nasty mud hole. Is a cloaca covered in mud worse than a regular cloaca? Well, there's one way to find out. Jump in. I'm not gonna do that just yet because I can see some shoes. An old pair of rubber boots has been discarded. Find this piling. You take them from the bridge's pile and add them to your own. You got an item, rubber boots with rubber soles and extremely inconvenient rubber laces. That's a bouncier step. Let's do that. Hell yeah. I've been waiting for a day like this. Real pep in that movement. This piling has some hobo code written on it. I translate it. The code reads, I'm hiding behind the next piling to the left. Come say hello. Ooh, sounds like it's time to make a new friend. You look behind the bridge pile and find a hobo sitting there with a fishing pole. He wasn't even particularly hiding. It is weird that you didn't see him before. I talked to him.
Hi there. You must have seen my note on the other piling. My name's Walter.
Hi, I'm Ryan. Are you living under this bridge?
For the moment. I'll probably move on soon, because SIT students keep throwing weird rocks down here, but it's protected from the rain, and the fishing is good, and it's a pretty nice spot to camp for a while.
What about the fishmen?
Those fellas with the glowing eyes? They were a bit leery of me at first, but I guess they decided I was harmless. Maybe all the raw fish I'd been handling rubbed off on me.
Makes sense, I guess. I ask him about the hobo. What? Excuse. I ask him about the hobo code. Tell him about the camp afterwards. Do you want any hobo code you can teach me?
Mostly fishing related ones, but sure, everyone should know the industrial chemicals dumping spot site in particular.
Oh yeah, I bet you had some real weird fish there.
Got one with 2 butts once.
Do you mean tails?
Nope.
Hobo code knowledge increased. Asked about something else. I'm gonna ask about your fishing first. Excuse me? So, do you know a lot about fishing?
I guess I picked up a trick or two. You looking for some pointers?
Sure, that'd be great. So far, I've learned that you hold out the long, stiff part of the pole and dangle the sharp wire thing into the water.
Well, there's a sentence that stopped being a double entendre real fast. Here, let me expand on that knowledge a bit.
You got a perk, expert fishery. You know when to fold your bait and when to hold it. Better fishing results. Hell yeah. I tell him about the camp now. You've well and truly earned this, friend. If you're thinking about moving anyway, there's a hobo camp on the outskirts of Ocean City. They could probably use someone with your fishing acumen.
I'll just use regular tackle, but that sounds like a pretty good deal. I'll head out there directly.
He packs up his gear and heads off with a wave. We get 15 experience. Adopt a bank. This section of bank is kept safe and clean by the fine folks, the SIT Chemicals Department, of course. They're trying to assuage their guilt, I'm sure. You know, it occurs to me I can very quickly just check with Ovid before we go down that bridge. I'm gonna have to fight this math. I have no choice. Tricky Timpani. Sure. Let's get you to do some damage to yourself. And then Sacks of Violence takes you out. Excellent. And then I can use another Tricky Timpani there. Perfect. Wait, do I have a duplicate of myself on the field? How did I get that? Excuse me? Let's have a look at the new ability of Professor Adams. Professor Adams will reduce all foes' moxie by 3 with a boring lecture. Reasonable, I guess. Get him with the weapon attack. You won. Up yours, math! You get a couple of piles of loose integers. You got an item, the mechanical calculator, as well as Professor Adams telling us some boring facts about the foes we just defeated. And Maurice growing stronger by +1 to all stats. That is a large growth. Should probably get that looked at. Yes, definitely looks like nothing else here from Ovid. Time to move back to the bridge. And in particular, back into the nasty mud hole. You emerge from that disgusting hole into a slightly less disgusting cave. Although, let's not be unclear. The cave is very disgusting. Wet piles of eggs litter the uneven ground and you hear a quiet, gurgly breathing from the other side of the cabin. Let's get Rufus's stupid pearl. Oh boy. I see what's going on here. Some nasty eggs, some gross eggs, a shadow rift that we could step through, some slimy eggs, some terrible eggs, some disgusting eggs, some revolting eggs. That's almost certainly the Fishmother. I don't want to just immediately get into a combat is the thing. Because I wonder if maybe I could succeed by going through the Shadow Rift and solving something here first. Oh, oxygen's just disappearing quite quickly. I need to swap back to reality. Whoop. There goes oxygen. Shadow Rift. Okay, so we can refuel it. Can I gather bubbles to get some more breathing power? Doesn't look like that. Huh, I guess I don't need to breathe in here. We learn at oxygen 0%. A throbbing ring of negative energy around a chalice-shaped object. It might be a chalice. I close it with shadow pliers. You fumble around with wet pliers and somehow manage to clumsily close the portal without dropping them. You gain 20 experience. I'm really curious as to what like the cultist path of this game is, because it's very clear to me that there seems to be some path where you get to give in to the Eldritch forces. That seemed very simple. Maybe it was effectively just a check to see whether or not I would do that first? Is there anything else I can do? Okay, I would be able to climb up and out if I wanted to. Let's have a look at our character sheet. There's 108, unspent EXP right there. So that's the ability for us to read another book. Advanced vascular anatomy, that's not going to work. I choose not to be cold. Gives hot armor. Could increase that to by 50%, rather, or by 50. By one level with 50 experience, which would be 50% of the 100 experience I have at the moment. I just kept saying that wrong in every different available way. Want to give this remedial book a second read through? Piano Crush getting 2 more damage and reducing muscle by 2, that seems like that might be relevant here actually. I'm gonna upgrade this. You read the book again, more slowly. Your knowledge that pianos are heavy has been honed. You now know that pianos are really heavy. Piano Crush has been upgraded. In an effort to move it closer to what you assume is the intended audience, you donate the book to a nearby preschool. I hope it is used well. Let's... Stench armor? It feels like Sleaze armor is more the Fishman's deal here. So I'm gonna put the Crystal Heart Necklace on... Oh, Mobius Ring! Right, help yourself in combat. There's another me in combat fighting. But also, my other me told me to not use this. So I'm deciding to use it to see what it would do. Hey, I'm not saying it was a great plan. 3 physical armor. Seems possibly our best so far. Ooh, Wax Slacks for some more resistance. I like that, I like that. The chopped off car door for the muscle and physical damage and reducing the mysticality. Probably not. Nasty Mug deals your mysticality and poison damage to an opponent and also poisons them. Sorry, in stench damage, rather, to your opponent. Flash it to increase your maximum and current HP by your mysticality, only 5. Reduce an enemy's muscle, mysticality, and moxie by 5 once per fight. I'm going to take the uncursed pocket watch here. I think that's probably going to be the ideal. And the extra AP per round seems still very relevant and important. Well, this is almost definitely the Fishmother. I approach her. You hear a smooth, melodious voice speaking directly into your mind.
You are a cunning and wily human to have bypassed the defenses of this place.
Thanks. Don't ask how I did it.
I already know. Fear not. The eggs I give my children to take care of are largely non-viable. It helps keep them out of trouble if they think they have responsibilities. Why have you sought out this audience with me, human?
Well... it's about the pearls.
Ah, so you're a treasure hunter, are you? You, who have killed 3 of my children. Yes, I counted. To have the further temerity to trick your way into my lair in pursuit of material wealth.
It's not like that.
Your words are the ashes of one whose pants are aflame, human. I will grant you no such boon.
So I failed this in the first episode when I killed 3 fishmen that one time.
Ah, nuts.
Wow. I tried. Now I've got to kill. Alright. I didn't want to. I was very clear about that. This is a Shane pumps shotgun moment. Okay. The Fishmother has a lot of HP. Whole mess of the stuff. Intends to heal all of her children by 7 and then throw slime at Professor Adams for a bunch of damage. So I'm going to start off by hypnotizing. -5 to all of the Fishmother stats there. Okay. The boxer down here has a decent amount of muscle. I like the things that are going to be increasing my moxie, because that's actually still going to be relevant over the course of the entire fight at this point. Sacks of Violence, obviously, also. Soothing Flute for 3 HP per round. You know, this fight might be long enough that it's actually worth setting up all of those buffs. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to have a look at some of our possible AoE effects, even. Tentacle Seed, summon a tentacle to aid me in battle. I can use that and another combat item. Call the War Rocket. 10 damage to all enemies. I did get a couple of nuclear bombs as well, by the by. Just in case those are relevant. A Shadow Bomb, 13 spooky damage to all enemies. I could just use 2 of these. There's the nuclear bomb. I'm gonna use 2 Shadow Bombs, actually. Shadow Bomb the first. Maybe I'm not allowed to use 2. That makes sense. Fair enough. I'll, take out the Fishman Boxer in the back line. Perfect damage. I should definitely go with poisoning the Fishmother here. Makes the most sense to make the most advantage out of that turn. Then the Familiar acting twice for a little bit of possible healing on me. Doesn't look like that's really gonna do what I want it to. Although, yeah, even if it doesn't, it sets up for the ability to do it myself with just AoE. There's the heal. Ooh, the AoE still doesn't manage to do it in the end. Fine, one more call for backup. Get him! I really can't split that damage for the absolute life of me. Thankfully, the Fishmother's stats have not come back, so I don't really need to worry about that at all. Let's go for Jazz Hands and 25 cold damage. This seems like a very, very powerful item, this Mobius strip. I don't understand. Oh, wait. Wait. Is the thing that's annoying about this that I'm then gonna have to do all of the fights again because I have to do them in the future, and that's why I was warning me not to do it? You won. Oh no, because I don't have to do them in the future, because it's a parallel universe, right? Or no, the Mobius ring was given to me from a parallel universe, but it affects the future. I don't know. It's weird. You won. Hopefully that won't set off a protracted human-fishman war or anything like that. Ugh. The Fishmother's Pearl. This pearl isn't even shiny. Professor Adams tells you some boring facts about the foe you just defeated, and I get 3 experience. Look, I didn't want to have to do that, but it had to be done. A teeming mass of fishmen. This is apparently where the Fishmother keeps most of her young. I don't want to fight them! Go fishing, or fighting, actually. I didn't want to fight them initially! I feel like I've gotten the negative end here. Alas, hopefully it's not the negative end for everything. Can't imagine it would be. Okay, Hilbert House, Fish and Chips, Vector Wing, Scalar Wing. Is that? Well, yes, actually, it was one of the final frat houses that I need to go to trade with Glordo. Glordo is not in this one. Glordo is in the one to the left. Glordo is not in this one. Glordo is in the first one. The entire time. As the two of you are strolling across campus, Dr. Adams takes out a pipe and starts pounding his pockets. Matches. Hold these for a moment, would you? You got an item, mysterious, miscellaneous chemicals. What are they? Oh, a little of this and a little of that. You may go on holding them if you've some use for them. I've got plenty. Pockets Adams, that's what they used to call me in graduate school, you know. Except for a brief period in which they called me Arson, but that little mishap was quickly cleared up and forgotten about. Thanks! I think. Alright, Glordo, it's time. I'm ready to become a super soldier. How's it going, Glordo? Oh, you know, another day, another flashback to the monstrosities and atrocities of war. Did you bring my treat, pal? Yeah, I got it right here. You got an item, the super soldier syrup. This is a potion. This little vial is stamped with a serial number and a list of complicated and scary sounding chemical names. You got 25 experience as well. Thanks! don't mention it. Unless you decide you want more later, in which case, mention it. You got it. Okay, so I could routinely do this, it looks like. 3 bottles of pork soda. There's a machine in the vector wing that has it. I wonder if this is an infinitely repeatable quest that I don't really actually need to put any of my attention to, or if I do it like 3 times, at the end he gives me something new, right? He runs out. Because he got a case of it, right? So maybe this is just an infinitely repeatable quest. Let's have a look at our to-do list. Return the Fishmother's pearl, of course, to Rufus. Did forget that was something I was gonna have to do here. Oh, Rufus.
Oh, hello again.
I got the pearl. Don't ask me for details.
That gross, huh?
No questions.
Okay, wow. That pearl really is a beaut. I'm gonna have to go into some hardcore analysis mode for a while. I'll give you a call when I figured out the next step of my plan. All right?
Thanks. I don't believe I have any new additional cheeses for you, friend. No, I do not. Apologies, Rat. Apologies. Let's start making our way, then, back to Ocean City, wherein we have a book to turn into Murray's Antiques and to uncurse at the top of the next episode. That will be our lead in. For the moment, though, as I discover that Charles Wallace is missing, I'll say that my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Shadows Over Loathing. Series playlist is up in the top left. YouTube recommendation down below. Streaming past other names of the people so generously. Supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays at or above the thank tier. And a special thanks to this episode to 3D. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves and hopefully we see you all next time.